least by James Burton, the owner of Did Strategic, helping people with anything from digital marketing, website development, a lot of different things.
A diverse list of guests tonight.
Exactly. Three different industries, but three fantastic entrepreneurs that are going to be joining us shortly on Today y Mañana. We'll also have some news about the upcoming joint event between Today y Mañana and Forward Adelante. And just a lot going on. Some news regarding Forward Adelante 2 and the Minority Business Alliance here in Charlottesville. So just a lot to cover. And I'm here with Michael again, which is always fantastic.
I'm back. So if you didn't like me last week, you have to deal with another hour and 15 minutes.
Who could not? Who could not?
Thank you, Alex.
Love Michael co-hosting with me on Today y Mañana. So I'm really looking forward to today's show. I think it's going to be a fantastic show.
I think so too, yep.
You know, certainly I feel like it'll be delicious, beautiful, and informative. So. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Today y Mañana. I'm Alex. This is Michael. We're very excited to have you joining us on this morning show on a beautiful morning.
Beautiful, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous morning.
Perfect weather. This is. I saw that this is called like the false fall.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like the weather is absolutely beautiful, but at the same time, it's mid-August. I'm still looking forward to some heat and humidity. You know, kind of enjoying like the pool.
You want some pool weather?
Exactly. Yeah, like fall will be here. We'll have September and October for fall.
The day will come.
Exactly.
It will come when the fall is here. But no, it's fantastic out there. So we're really excited to have you joining us. Settle in, grab your café con leche, or if you prefer your iced café con leche in the summer, you can do that as well. And settle in for a show of Today y Mañana. As always, we love to be presented by Emergent Financial Services. We're also powered by our friends at Castle Hill Cider, at Aqua Seville Hand Car Wash, at the Gym Seville, our friends Miguel and Chit, Craddock Sirius Insurance, Johan Torres at GBS Financial Services, and last but not least, always we are partnering with Forward Adelante, the premier Latino networking group here in Charlottesville, Virginia. So we have, and speaking of that, Forward Adelante, Today y Mañana joint event coming on. So for the Forward Adelante side, Connect Latino 2022. Today y Mañana also to Invest Appreciation. We're going to merge the two, get people really connected with two different networking groups. It's going to be August 31st at 5:30 p.m. at the beautiful location of Castle Hill Cider.
Exactly, and if the weather's anything like it is today that day, it will be a must.
It'll be
you
perfect.
have to come.
It will be perfect.
Just for the scenery alone, not to mention the food and the absolute
free
phenomenal,
appetizers,
phenomenal cider drinks that they have.
Phenomenal cider drinks. Appetizers will be provided, so you got a lot to look forward to. You can find out more. You can find it on Facebook. Also, free music by Lily Graciela.
Oh, wow. That's going to spice things
up. Live music is going to be there. And you can find it at Facebook or at www.connectlatino2022.eventbrite.com.
Does that mean Xavier has to dance the tango?
We'll see. We'll see. We've been trying to get Xavier to dance on air for a year and a half now. We keep bringing on dance studios, and he keeps not dancing.
Yeah, he keeps letting us down. Hopefully, maybe we'll if he has enough drinks, and we'll push him into the dance floor, and then get a camera, and then Judah will replay it for us, and we'll have the evidence to prove.
Tell Castle, he'll give him a double shot of cider. A double cider. And go from there and see what happens. Yeah. So we got a lot to cover today. We're really excited about it. I think we're going to be joined by three fantastic guests. Brittany Cobbs, the owner of Bait on the James, followed by Christine Mitchell, who is the owner of Double C Ranch in Crozet, and last but not least, we're going to be joined by James Burton, the owner of Did Strategic here in Charlottesville. So I say we jump right into it.
There's no other way to do it than just jump right into it.
How else would we start? So we're really excited to welcome to the show this morning Brittany Cobbs. She is the owner of Bait on the James. Brittany, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on, Brittany.
No, it's very exciting. So
our first question is probably going to be a general one. Like, what inspired you to kind of jump into the baking arena?
Yeah, so it took the pandemic actually for me. I had just a 9-to-5 job and got freaked out that everyone was losing their jobs, and I decided to start baking cupcakes out of my home and posting them on my Facebook. And things just took off, and they started to sell. So
wow,
yeah,
that's pretty incredible that the pandemic actually kind of pushed you to kind of follow your passion. I guess.
Yeah, it honestly it probably wouldn't have happened any other way. Just I was too scared to do anything, and I was comfortable with my job, and it just kind of happened. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, Alex and I are now thankful that the pandemic resulted in one good thing.
Silver linings, right?
Silver lining, yeah. It's like this pandemic.
Silver linings, to be sure. Yeah. But so were you always interested in baking? Tell us a little bit how you kind of got that interest, that passion.
Yeah, so I've always been creative. I love cooking. I love baking. I just have always enjoyed it. I never thought I would probably do it for a living just because I would be nervous to actually follow through with it. It was something I always kind of talked about. But yeah, it's always been something I love. So
that's fantastic.
Was it? I'm curious. Did you like mother bake or like grandma bake? Was it something like kind of like generational? Or was it something you kind of picked up?
Well, I grew up with my dad, so it was kind of just something that I was like, I'm going to learn how to cook and bake and do these things, and I've just always liked it. So, yeah.
Okay. That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. What are some of the things, because I know, looking at your website, it's like, if you're not hungry, go to Baked on the James website, and I'll give you like 30 seconds.
No, you should go when you're hungry. This way you order some stuff.
I'm saying even if you're not hungry, you know that within 30 seconds you will be hungry. Yes. Like the moment you get on there, you will start being hungry and want to order everything on that menu. But tell us some of the things you make at Baked on Jam. I know cupcakes is a specialty, but what are some of the things people can find?
Yeah, so my menu changes seasonally. Right now I have the summer menu. It's going to switch in September to the fall. I have 12 different flavors every day, so they rotate. Everything's baked fresh daily. I offer cinnamon rolls. These actually are raspberry lemon rolls. It's a new thing that I've done.
They look so good.
Yeah. And I love making pie. Pies are probably like my favorite thing to make. And so, that's kind of the three things I specialize in.
Yeah, Brittany, showcase, please showcase. Okay. This way we get everyone jealous.
Yeah, so here's the cupcakes.
That's amazing. So what are some of the types that you've got there?
All right, so we have Monster Cookie, which is like a peanut butter cream cheese with mini chocolate chips, M&Ms, and oats. Wow. We have Limoncello, which is a lemon cake soaked with a limoncello sauce with a lemon curd filling and a lemon cream cheese frosting. We have Fresh Strawberry, which is a vanilla cake with strawberries folded into the batter and a strawberry buttercream. We have chocolate chip cookie dough. We have a vanilla confetti, which is just like a basic classic one that people like. And the last one is cookies and cream, which is a chocolate cake with a vanilla buttercream rolled in crushed Oreos.
Wow.
So,
basically when we get back to the office, like every single one must be tasted.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
There's gonna be some scratching and crawling, I think, for some of those
some battles.
Exactly.
You could cut them if you want.
There you go, exactly.
Yeah, nah. I want the whole thing.
You've already got a fan comment. Philip Dowell says, when I posted Baked on the James raspberry lemon roll, he received 20 comments. One being, Philip Dowell, based on your recommendation, my sister and I went there to get cupcakes for her birthday Thursday. Not disappointed, they were sinfully delicious. So a lot of fans of Baked on the James watching the show. Thank you, Philip, for watching the show this morning and joining us. So I know, Mike, I know you had some some thoughts of
I was
website.
browsing through your website, and I saw, first of all, you make some amazing designs with your cakes, but I saw like a Star Wars themed one, and then I saw this little cupcake that had like a little cookie monster with the cookie inside, and I was curious, like, what's your process behind kind of creating some of these extravagant like cupcakes and cakes?
Yeah, so my style is just kind of talking to the customer, seeing what they want, letting them know my style, as I don't do a lot of like fondant items, and I do my best work when people just give me the creative freedom to like design how I want to design it. So when people kind of restrict you, it gets a little hard. So I just like having the creative freedom to they trust me to make it look good.
That's wonderful. So you don't do any kind of like drawing sketches or anything like that?
No, I don't do anything like that.
Wow, that's impressive freehand work. That's some artistic prowess there.
That is pretty interesting. So like, for example, like if someone like a baseball team cake, the best thing for you is someone say, can I have a baseball team cake? And then you just let your imagination go to work?
Yeah, I'll send them some ideas of things that I've done in the past and just see if that will fit their style of what they're looking for, and then if they just let me have that creative freedom, it'll be good.
And when it comes to flavors, is that something that you're a little more lenient to if someone says, well, I want like a chocolate?
Yeah, so some of the custom work, you can't get too crazy with the flavors just because some things won't work, but for the most part, you can do any kind of filling in the cake, but for a lot of my custom stuff, it has to be like a basic vanilla buttercream on the outside to achieve the look that they want.
Because it's easier to dye and stuff like that?
Yeah. Where like if you got like a peanut butter frosting, it's naturally going to be like a brown color, and you can't, I don't like using a lot of dyes in my stuff. I get to be a little bit, just having the vanilla buttercream as the base and going from there.
How could you go wrong? As a vanilla fan, how could you go wrong? You can't go wrong.
Alex is a big vanilla fan. Yeah.
Can't go wrong with vanilla buttercream. Lots of fans watching, loving the show, loving what you do. We got Candace Mead, thanks for watching the show. Kara Redman, Elvia Matiano, thanks for watching. Cheryl Cookie Ruddock, thanks for watching. Christy Haley watching the show this morning. Thank you all for joining us this morning and just loving our guest here on Today Mañana. So it's just, I love that you can do that, and I think it makes sense. I mean, it's funny, we talked a lot on Today Mañana when we bring in like professionals in like, finance or real estate and stuff, and said, well, you got to trust the professional and know what they're doing. Like, you wouldn't hire a real estate agent and then say, I want you to show me these 10 houses, this is my price point, I'm willing to pay more than this. Go. And said, why did you even hire me? You know exactly what you're doing. Like, there's no advice. And then, but I think sometimes people forget it with, something like Cupcakes and Hates, like, you're really good at what you do and you have a passion for it. So why not enjoy the imagination, the experience that you bring to making a custom cake or making a set of cupcakes for someone? Yeah,
I agree. I do my best work that way. When people kind of restrict, it gets harder to be creative with it.
And I think baking is a lot too like an art. In a sense, because you are sort of creating something, not just about how it tastes, but in reality too, how it looks. Because you look at these cupcakes, they look delicious. It's not just like a bunch of like stuff mushed on it, And I don't know if you've ever seen like the Great British Baking Show and all that stuff. You really see how much goes into work of actually making a cake look delicious. It's not just sort of like I'm baking my cake and then I put the frosting. It takes a lot of effort to kind of put the little dabs of the cream and all that other stuff and getting the cake like the right size. So
it's a lot of work.
It is. Oh yeah, I know. My mom, our mother actually is like she used to be a big fan, especially when what was her name? Who used to be on the Great British Baking Show? The old lady.
Mary Berry.
Mary Berry. Yeah, like my mother loves. She's got like 500 Mary Berry baking books. Yeah. Right, so she used to watch all the time. So we'd end up seeing it, and it's true. There's just so much work that goes into creating these cakes, and I don't think people appreciate sometimes, the artistry that kind of goes in behind it.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's why it's important to actually sometimes like, hey, if I'm creating these things, exactly, a little creative freedom is good because it's already taken a creative mind to actually accomplish what's being accomplished.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm curious, what was it like taking that sort of entrepreneurship plunge? Okay, I like to do this, I've been baking some things for my friend, and I'm now gonna what was it like in that first year, these first 2 years of like taking that plunge and becoming a small business owner?
It's been scary, but like really rewarding. Some days it's a lot of feelings. It's hard to even explain all the different feelings with it. But very scary. I don't I don't know. It's just, I went from having just always working for someone else to completely working for myself and being responsible for employees and, everything else that comes, with not just baking. And it's a very scary experience.
That goes into it.
Yeah.
And then, did you have to kind of learn some of those back end things? Were there things that you went into it saying, all right, this is what you do as an entrepreneur, and then when you started, like, oh wait, these are the other things I have to do as well?
I've learned so much. I was on the phone with the county for hours, like the permits and figuring out stuff, and just that was probably the most stressful part. just figuring out all the like stuff like that. It was very overwhelming. Yeah.
Yeah, legal work's terrible.
Yeah.
Sometimes you hate laws, right, Alex?
Yes.
There are too many laws. It's like, I just want to sign paper. I'm opening up a business. Someone says, okay, it's open. It's official now.
Yeah, and just like knowing the codes and knowing the different things that you need to have set. That was probably one of the most overwhelming parts of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Candace Mead says, of course we love her. Have you asked her about her cinnamon rolls? So, how famous are these cinnamon rolls? Is there like a story behind how you started making them, or?
I mean, they sell out, like, people are lining up, some days at 10 a.m. and I just sell out very quickly. So, I can't seem to make enough of them for everyone. But yeah, they're very popular.
So what time do you open? This way, Alex and I know that we beat the 10 o'clock crowd.
Well, I open at 10.
Oh, you open at 10?
Yeah.
We got busy.
So you should pre-order.
Oh,
Everyone should pre-order.
I was thinking sleep in the tent and wait for it to...
But people who don't pre-order are there at 10, and sometimes the pre-orders sell me out. So I don't have anything, and because I have to prep the dough the day before. So once I kind of get my count of what I'm going to make, I can't just prep the dough that morning. It has to sit overnight.
Of course.
So
of course, yeah, because it's working. Are they yeast based?
yes, yep,
So those are always
yeah,
those are always good.
yeah.
Those are always good.
And so these that I brought are a new flavor. So they're not the cinnamon rolls, but it's my roll with a raspberry filling that we make, and then it has a lemon icing on top.
Oh, that sounds good as well. Oh, you get to lift those up.
Judah wants to see them.
Judah's like, I want to see this. I want to see this.
So yeah, they're.
Oh, that looks good.
Is that good?
That's good.
Well, so there you go. I mean, if you have not seen these before, you need to absolutely go pre-order.
Yes, pre-order.
From Burton James. Johnny Ornelas, Amido del Programa, thanks for liking and sharing today's show. So yeah, no, I mean, so many. We got another comment here. Heather Shiflett says, those raspberry lemon rolls are my favorite. so you should definitely check those out to be sure. So, I mean, I know people can pre-order. Where's the website to pre-order? How can people kind of get in touch with you and find you?
Yeah, so it's best to give us a call during our business hours. That's the best way to order with us. Any kind of, I usually sell out every day, so even on cupcakes or pies or anything, so it's always best just to give us a call. We are on Facebook and Instagram, so...
and super easy to find on
yeah,
They're just
if
you type
baked on the James,
you will find it on Facebook. And where's your physical storefront?
It's 300 Valley Street, downtown Scottsville. So it's the historic Bruce's drugstore building on the corner. And we're open 10 to 6 Tuesday through Friday and 10 to 4 on Saturdays. We're closed Sunday, Monday. So
that's fantastic, and a beautiful little spot there.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Is that like right before the river?
Yes, it's right at the intersection.
That is a very nice spot. Yeah. Very nice.
Absolutely. So I bet you Scottsville is probably very happy that you were there. I would imagine.
Yes, I think they are.
I can be sure. Yeah, we'll have to. But it's worth. I think it's worth.
It will be worth the drive.
It's worth the drive.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful scenic highway to be able to get to.
Yeah, and it's not too far. It's about 20 minutes south, so not too bad.
Very, very easy. So for all our Central Virginia fans, be sure to check it out. You got some more love coming your way. Angelina Dardner, Danielle Fuentes Johnson, Carolyn Hayslip, giving you some props here. Jessica Puffenbarger giving you some props. Sarah Townsend Williams says, "Good job, Brittany Cobb." we can absolutely agree with that. to be sure. But be sure to check it out. So Baked on the James on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
As well as right downtown Scottsville. You can't miss it right before the intersection where the river is. So Brittany, thanks so much for joining us this week.
Thank you all for having me.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
And best of luck.
Thank you so much.
The beautiful work. Thank you. I always love just seeing the passion and
exactly
and going from there.
That's sometimes the best part of the show is just seeing all these entrepreneurs and kind of like how they first of all, how they started their business, and then, the passion behind what they do, because that's the most important part, right? Starting your own business. You have to actually like what you do. If you don't like it, you're going to be asking yourself why you did it in the first place.
Exactly. Now you got to have the passion, which is one of my favorite things about today, Manana. We just see all the passion that people have. Sarah Townsend Williams says, we love you to Brittany. She made my granddaughter's mermaid birthday cake.
Aww.
so some more fantastic creations. And from one fantastic entrepreneur to another, we have put Christine. We have put you in the temptation seat right
Yes, so sorry.
You look amazing.
but we're really excited to welcome to the show Christine Mitchell. She is the owner of Double C Ranch in Crozet. Christine, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Christine.
Thank you.
That's fantastic to have you here. So, I mean...
Yeah, so I was reading your biography a little bit. It says you came from Germany. Kind of what was your childhood like, and what inspired you to kind of go into horseback riding?
Oh, well, I was always a fanatic, of course. Since I was little, I always loved horses. I always drew horses. I studied horses. I breathed horses, basically, all my life. So, I had classes in Germany. So I went through the system in Germany with a horseback riding school.
To learn how to ride and do...
Yes. Yeah. And, later I perceived I worked on different barns, like reining jumpers, mostly jumpers. And later, many years basically I spent in the business and worked at riding schools as well. And later I bought my own horse and trained it myself and got married and actually started the riding school myself, so teaching kids with my dressage trainer who took the riding school over that I actually learned to ride.
Oh, interesting.
And she didn't really want to move forward, so I kind of took over because the kids didn't have anybody to teach. And so I kind of got into this, and I really liked it. I love teaching kids. That's my big passion. I always like training young horses. I love teaching kids to smile when they light up. They get on the horse, and then the first time when they go fast, and they smile, their faces light up. That's my reward, big time.
That's fantastic. That's awesome. Yeah. My fiance will be very excited to watch it because her mom is from Germany as well, and she grew up in Montana, where there are tons of horses.
Yes.
So she will be very excited to watch this episode. Her mom is from Bavaria.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So how did you? So I mean, you talked a little bit about how you sort of turned this into a business. What are some of the services that people can find at Double C? So I mean, what are some of the things they can learn? And I know you mentioned kids as well.
Yes. So I have boarding available as well. Limited. There are like 8 spots where I offer boarding. Then right now I focus mainly on the riding school. And, I've done dressage, jumping. I have my certifications in there. And when I came to the U.S. about 13 years ago, I worked for a cutting horse breeder. So I have some quarter horses from there, too. And I learned cutting and some reining.
Tell us a little bit about that. What's, for those who don't understand that part about what's cutting of horses?
Cutting of horses, Cutting is really fun for once. It's a rush, when you go, It's basically when you're in a herd of cows, you take one out and the horse does all the work, most of it. You just point him to that one calf and then they just keep it away from that herd.
Interesting.
Basically.
Wow.
It's really fun.
I didn't even know you could train horses to do that.
They actually, it's a multi-million-dollar business. It's really, after the race horses, the cuttings are a big industry in the U.S., very much so.
Wow.
You learn something every day. I did not know. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you basically, you're teaching people not just, things that are really enjoyable, like the writing, and that can help develop you, you as a person and give you some, recreation, but also things that are very practical in the sense of like there are big industries that it's important to be able to know how to do this.
Yeah. Well, the cutting, I'm not set up for it right now. I'm working on it. I just moved here about a month ago. So I'm like...
Well, we're glad to have you here.
So really... My sister lives about a half an hour from here. So I sold my ranch that I had in Oklahoma and moved over here. And so I'm pretty fresh to, least here, and I'm just starting here. So,
well, welcome to
That's
Virginia
fantastic.
then. Yeah.
thank you.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so I have my breeding operation a little bit with me, and I'm just getting started with the riding school, which is amazingly. I mean, I get a lot of people that are interested in.
All right.
And most of the
Learning how to
people
ride.
that sign for your classes, would you say they're on the younger side, like children, or kind of like on the older side, like middle-aged?
Most of them are really children.
Children.
You know, I have some adults for sure too, but most of them are children, which is maybe the way it is my passion. So I love, teaching kids. So maybe that's,
Yeah, and also on your website, you talk about like the importance of like, why do you feel like it's very important for young children kind of to learn horseback riding and everything that goes with it?
So, what I realized is, first of all, in our time and age, all the kids, they're on the computer. They don't
Exactly.
play outside anymore, and it brings them back to nature a little bit.
It does.
They a lot of the kids get way more focused. They get calmer. I hear from a lot of parents a lot of positive feedback that their child completely changed. They get way more confident, when they were insecure, because a lot of kids have seen that over the years, that they're really shy in the beginning, and later they're just, I don't know, they find some kind of peace in them, I guess. I don't know, but horses have an amazing effect on kids. It's, I mean, like I said, it focuses them, it brings them to the now. They have to interact with the horse, basically. They have to build a relationship. So it has very much a very positive, they have to take leadership, because they have to tell the horse what to do. So it builds leadership, it builds confidence, it calms them down. And I mean, horses are active in the therapeutic riding, which I do not offer. I actually had somebody contacting me, so maybe I'm more than open to have something
try
like
new
that.
things.
Yes, I just love kids. I want to help kids, and I want to, anything I can do to, get them better, or anyways help them in any way. That's all me. I'm all open for that, so to
That's
speak.
fantastic.
That's fantastic.
No, I think it's true. I think there's something special as to the relationship, I think, with, and this is speaking as someone who hasn't ridden a horse in a long time, maybe since I was little.
Oh.
But it seems to me when I watch it, I love seeing horses and watching them run and seeing them on the fields.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things. There's that when I drive home, there's like along the way there's a farm that has, I think, like 2 horses. They're not always out, but when they are, it's just so beautiful to see.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And I think there's something special about building that kind of connection, because it's different than a pet. Because I think a horse is a bitter animal. I think it has its own personality, and it's more of a relationship of equals in the sense that the rider needs the horse, and the horse is able to sort of learn things.
It's kind of
and so putting a child on a horse, they have to have a certain level of respect for the animal and build relationships and say it's not just I tell the horse what to do and he does it. Like,
No, absolutely
you
not.
need to work with the creature, and I can see how that would build a lot of important skills.
Yes.
And then the confidence when it actually happens, they said, "Oh, yeah, I rode the horse and it worked."
Yeah, it's a lot of responsibility too. It's not just like as much as I love dogs, I'm a big dog lover, right? You throw the ball, dog gets the ball, then brings it back. It's a very simple connection there. But with the horse, it's like you have to learn how to get on the horse. How to take the reins. And like Alex said, it has to be trust level, because I don't know 100% sure, but it's like, does it matter who's on the horse? Does a horse kind of have to feel like you trust it? Or does it like anyone could just kind of jump on the horse?
Well, my horses are very well. They're my former show horses, so they're very well trained. My go-to, basically, she's 13 years now, and I have her since she's 3. All my horses are basically almost raised myself.
Wow.
So my history is on my place, basically. I have 11 horses, and they've all been basically trained by myself and raised by myself almost. So,
That's amazing.
but so you have to have, as a trainer as well, that connection, with a horse. But yes, you cannot put just any child on any horse. It's not possible. They have to go in certain levels. And my 2 mares that I start the kids with, they're gold.
The sweetest things.
Yeah, you can't put a price on these 2 because they're just amazing. They It's Cat and Queenie. That's their names.
Cat and Queenie.
Their nicknames, not the papered names, but yeah. But they're really very patient. They're very calm. Even when the kids scream or some are scared, they just stand there and let them just calm down or work with me. When I tell them to stop, I have control over them. When they're like 8 meters away, I can tell them to stop, and they will. When I need to, because I can see when the kid gets a little to the side, or so I stop the horse. Things like this.
So the kids can always know that they're safe, and they can.
Yes, exactly.
That's
you cannot take every horse, and it's a gradual thing. You have to have a very calm and good-minded and well-trained horse for a kid to start with, or an adult for that fact too. Adults are almost more scared than the kids, of course, because they can think, they know, it's high up.
Adults are nervous, kids are excited.
Exactly, that would probably be me. If you try to put me on a horse, I'd probably be a little more nervous than the little kids at first.
And then later you go, more advanced horses and more energetic horses, and more the ones that you need to calm down a little bit to get to be able to ride them, kind of thing.
Exactly. What are some of the things, I'm curious, just having taken this passion that you had for horses and for working with kids, what was it like to sort of take the entrepreneur plunge and be like, all right, now I have my own business that I have to do all these other things? It's
kind of scary sometimes. It's sure not an easy path, the entrepreneur, but it's exciting, of course. It's I'm a workaholic, so I get up in the morning, and you have to be when you're an entrepreneur. Every entrepreneur knows, you need to love work.
You have to love what you do.
Yeah, otherwise you can't do it. But it's exciting. It's always a new day, and you always have new problems coming up that you're gonna have to wrestle and everything. And I think that's the part I like. And it's So I took the jump. The real jump, actually, 1.5 years ago. I worked for Dell, the computer company, and I just decided, okay, the school business is going really good, so I'm just going to go.
And I'm
going to do it. It was scary, but it worked out really good. And moving here was really a very, very good move, too.
That's fantastic. Well, we're very glad.
Yeah, we're very glad to have you.
Thank you.
Yes. We're glad to hear it. No, I think you're very right. It's almost like there's kind of, I would call it maybe the thrill of entrepreneurship, in the sense of anything that really can deliver you that great thrilling joy has to have with it also the element of danger. Like if you think of your a sports team, if you're watching your favorite sports team and they're winning, let's say it's a baseball and you're winning 20-0, it's not that exciting.
No, it's not.
You kind of get bored.
There's no challenge,
right? But if you have that thing where we're losing, now we're winning, now we're losing, now we're winning, and then you win at the end, there's kind of that. And it's similar. Entrepreneurship has those challenges. It's not like you come into work every day and it's someone else's job to figure out whether the company will exist tomorrow.
You have to.
It's your job to make sure the company still exists.
And you better think ahead.
So you got to think ahead. You have to put out fires. You have to problem solve. But then the thrill of having achieved that.
The reward, the reward too. And actually doing what you love, see them kids light up, the faces and all this. And it's just really, it makes it all worth it, for sure. Exactly. Yeah, I don't mind doing it at all. I mean, getting up, it's...
But that's the beauty of entrepreneurship, though. You're also doing something that you love, hence the problem is when you work for someone else, sometimes you could kind of get stuck. It's like if you're trying to build a business, you're building someone else's business.
Yes.
So there's not that same passion behind it as when you own your business. You're getting up in the morning because you love teaching these children. So you're actively building a business, but you're building something you love, and it's also building it for yourself. And I think that's the wonderful thing. And I mean, your passion for horses is just kind of coming through. It's like I can see, it's like every time you're like, the little children, I'm like, wow. It's like you really, really love to teach the children on the horses, and that's special right there, because you can't replace that with anything else.
That's
really.
true.
Exactly. No, I mean, I think that's the beauty of it, in a sense, that you're able. It's a combination entrepreneurship of, I think, passion with the hard work. And I think that's what you take it to a new level.
You have to do it, You can't fake. You will not succeed in entrepreneurship if you don't do something that you love. You will not. Michael Dell actually said that.
Good advice. Good advice.
Yeah, he's a very smart man. I was very impressed by him. When I worked for him, I was like, it was very interesting to, study him a little bit.
And that's neat that you were able to take some of those things you learned and say, oh, you know what, this is worth translating. This is something I can translate to taking that next step and being an entrepreneur yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So for those who are want to get into horseback riding and want to reach out, where are some ways that people can find you and get in touch with you?
I guess the best way is really to go on my Facebook page and message me there. That's the easiest way to get in contact with me. I do have a business phone number as well, where people can reach me as well.
Absolutely. And that would be
855-520-6290.
Awesome. And then Double C Ranch LLC Crozet is when you type that into Facebook, it'll take you right to Double C Ranch Crozet, and you will be able to see it has the link to your website, it has the phone number there, it has your email, so you can find it all at Double C Ranch LLC Crozet. And you type that into Facebook, and it'll poof right there. We'll also it's also live now on Facebook, so if you're watching today, Mañana. Facebook page, you can easily find it. It's also live streaming to Double C Ranch LLC Crozet. Christine, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you
for sharing your passion with us, Christine.
Thank you.
And best of luck.
Appreciate
coming to Charlotte.
Being able to come here.
Of course, anytime.
All right. Bye.
And from man, that was so much fun. You love seeing the joy, the passion, the how much. And it's that combination of things that makes entrepreneurship tick.
Definitely. And horseback riding is something that, we kind of watch a lot of those like fantasy movies, so there's always like horses and all that other stuff. So that was kind of cool to see that kind of passion going behind like teaching young children to horseback ride. I'm kind of jealous now. I wish I was taught when I was young.
Hey, it's never too late.
Yeah, I know, but it's not the same feeling when you're a kid. I need to go and find a time machine, get myself like 6 years old again, and
start all over again. Absolutely. No, it's fantastic. No, really, it's just the beauty of it. This is part of why I love today, Mañana, and of course, how better to do that than to continue with another fantastic guest that I can tell his excitement for what he does just when we were chatting before the show. So we're really excited to welcome James Burton. He's the owner of Dig Strategic. James, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
It's fantastic to have you on. So for those who don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you decided to start Dig Strategic.
Sure. So I'm a Charlottesville native. I'm a rare breed here, and my dad and my daughter were both born at Martha Jefferson Hospital, the old one. So my grandparents were here in Charlottesville, and so I've been in the community for a long time. Went to Albemarle High School, went to University of Virginia, started a family here, tried to leave a couple times, and Charlottesville has a way of bringing you back, pulling you back. And so I came here, come from a line of entrepreneurs. My grandmother was an entrepreneur, her father was an entrepreneur, and two of my three siblings also own their own businesses. So we just kind of have a family that has been passionate about about building businesses.
That entrepreneur gene must be running through your veins.
I think so. It must be. So yeah,
that's incredible. Incredible.
And you got some fans watching you. Maddie Taylor watching the show this morning. Sarah Williams watching and sharing the show. Thank you, Sarah, for
Excellent.
that.
Yeah, thank you.
So it's interesting because your business, what I think is really neat is. You're an entrepreneur, so you have a small business, but your business in many ways is all about helping small businesses because, tell us a little bit about some of the services that you have there because it's really about sort of helping small businesses to sort of market themselves and reach people.
Sure. So the way, when I was looking at I was in marketing, digital marketing, been in it for over 10 years, worked with a lot of small businesses and saw the frustration small business owners have, especially when it comes to the digital marketing space. It's like it can be overwhelming. There's so many pieces to it, whether it's, do I need to be doing social, and what's happening with my SEO? advertising? Do I do paid search and display ads? And I found a lot of small business owners were trying to do many things themselves, and it was very frustrating because either they didn't have the time, they didn't have the expertise, they couldn't do it consistently, and so it was a struggle. They would, a lot of times I found that they would go and try to hire somebody to do something, and they would end up hiring some people are calling every day. I can get you to the top of Google, I can help you with this, and so they hire somebody they've never met to do something that they don't even understand. And it's like, so that was a challenge where they go, I don't even know if it's working. So one of the big things for us as we came on, and then, other agencies, I came from an agency where I first really learned a lot in digital marketing, and it's expensive. It can be cost prohibitive. So you got that challenge as a small business owner, how do I afford it? And so we came into business to answer that, solve that problem, to meet that need for small business owners, to say, hey, we want you to feel comfortable and take some of the pressure off, that we understand, we get it, help them hopefully to understand a little bit better and a little bit more about what digital marketing is, what they can and can't do, and then maybe offer to, ways that they can afford it. So we do offer a wide range of services, really designed to fit the niche of small business owner, that mom and pop, typically smaller company. And so if they need help with anything from website to social posting to social boosting, advertising, SEO, we wanted to be a solution that can provide an affordable solution within a lot of the different aspects of digital marketing.
Yeah, and what's the most common mistake you see small businesses make when it comes to digital marketing?
Ignoring it. I think, putting, hiding under a rock sometimes. I mean, it's easy to do as a business owner when we don't understand something. It's like, man, I don't get it. And it's scary. So it's like they just say, forget it. I'm not going to do it. I mean, so I'm not going to, because I don't understand websites. I don't think I can afford one. I'm just not going to have a website. And then you go, oh, you need to have a website. So that's one piece. We encourage a lot of our business owners. I'm surprised they won't have a Google business profile claimed, and it's like, that's a great starting point. So if you're a business owner out there and haven't done that yet, that's a great starting point. It's free, and it starts to give you that local. We're very hyper local and focused on that local online presence, and that's a great place to start.
Got it.
Absolutely. And I think the beauty of it is, I think, just that so much of the digital marketing space, I think people's first encounter with it as a small business owner, if you go to look and say, all right, well, how do I do this, is you're going to hit those big national websites and corporations, and the person you're talking to is an 800 number far away. If you have an issue, there's not that sort of personal connection. The beauty of it is you're in this space as a digital marketer that's local. So when someone's able to actually talk to James, here's what I do, here's what I need help with, and you're able to sort of work with them, I think in a way that'll probably be so much more productive than if you just typed in digital marketing and hit one of those big Google advertisers that pop up. It's like, yeah, will it be done? Will you be supposedly done in 60 seconds? Maybe. But from then on out, you're kind of on your own. But do you what's sort of the process if someone says, all right, yeah, I want to work with James? What do you sort of walk people through to get to what they need?
So with anything, we have to know where we are. Before you know where you're going to go, if I said, hey, how do I get to California? I need to know where I'm starting from. So getting that understanding of a starting point is important. So we do an audit, an offer that we have to give an idea basically within 6 different areas. What is your current online presence? How are you doing currently? And then we will review that with the business owner. And part of our mission is to help every business owner to benefit from their online presence, whether they're gig strategic clients or not. So we love having an educational aspect to our business. So I love sitting down with business owners, and there's no pressure if you work with us or not. It's really more about helping them understand better where they are and give a couple pointers to help them how they can improve. And Alex, what you said about the look you in the eye approach, it's definitely important that there is that sense of, I don't know if it's working, I don't know if they're doing anything, so we wanted to have that face-to-face across the table, be able to sit down with business owners so that they do really feel like they understand what we're doing, they know exactly what to expect, and then we also work on accountability, where we want to make sure that if, like you're talking about, dropping the ball, is it going to happen? Did it happen? Web developers, we know a lot of times we've had business owners that, ask for something to change on the website, and it's like 3 weeks later, and it hasn't changed, and we're like 24 hours to 3 days max. You know, you're going to see those changes right away on your website. So accountability on our part, affordable, and then we like to be accessible as well, where they can call us, they can see us, we can meet in person if they want to. So most of our clients are local, and so it's worked out well.
That's fantastic. I love what you said about the educational aspect, because I think sometimes people, as small business owners, I know, and I knew a little bit about social media marketing when I went into small business, but you encounter things like search engine optimization, and people are like, what is that? I don't even know where to start. And so that educational piece is so important. This way, when you're helping someone with search engine optimization, they're able to know, okay, what does that mean? I mean, what is James doing? What do I need to do for my part to sort of work with him and make sure that, what he's doing is effective for me? So I just love that educational piece that you work with people on.
Yeah, absolutely. And SEO is one of those things where people go, is it magic? What is it? What are they doing behind the scenes? And it is something that it becomes a very sort of ethereal idea of SEO, and what are you actually doing? What does it mean? And so we do things with the Chamber of Commerce here locally. We've done presentations at Better Business Bureau as well in Richmond to help, again, to kind of demystify some of those things and just kind of make it a little more clear. Here's what it is. Here's some things you can do, simple things you can do, and here's how it's going to impact your ranking.
And that's fantastic. And that's sometimes one of the most important things too about small business too. What you're doing now is you're helping people also kind of build the trust process, because you're trying to teach them what exactly you do. It's like sometimes like if a plumber comes to your house and you have a problem, they fix it and they leave, you're kind of like, what was the problem? Like, did he really fix it? Like, you don't understand, but if someone goes through the process of, hey, this is what was happening, this is how we're going to help fix it, now suddenly people are learning. And then you're sort of building trust, like, yeah, I trust this guy because he's teaching me what he's doing. He's showing me everything that I was failing at, and now how we're going to succeed. And that's important, and that's really great that you guys do that.
Yeah. I have to say, you do very good Chamber of Commerce. When you do the Chamber of Commerce presentations, I always learn so much.
I appreciate that.
When you do that. And what would you say, I'm always curious about this, what would you say that people don't, and I know Michael asked about, the mistakes that people made, but what are some of the things that people don't even think about, that you say, all right, small business owners should be thinking about this, but it sometimes, it slips their mind that this is out there?
I love that question, Alex, because I think we're, as entrepreneurs or just as humans, we're always looking for like a silver bullet or what's that quick fix, that one quick thing.
Exactly.
And the thing about digital marketing, we're a diet and exercise company. We believe in like the slight edge, this idea that digital marketing requires vigilance. That's probably the biggest secret. The silver bullet with digital marketing is that there isn't one. It's really just vigilance and consistency. That just over time, I do that. The biggest thing we see where people fail is they kind of quit before they see the magic, right? They see the success. So it's like you do it. It's like it's not working. Just like exercise and diet. I'm eating those things and now I'm not losing weight. And then all of a sudden you start to see the changes and the difference. Exactly. And so it takes vigilance. It takes consistency. There's a commitment that just doing that slight edge, those little things over time. Don't give up. Keep at it. That would be the silver bullet. Is that there isn't one. Is just do those things over time. It does work. So
no, it made perfect sense. I think as a small business owner, I think a lot of entrepreneurs intuitively understand the importance of using professionals, right, for certain things. In other words, like you're a small business owner, you're looking for a storefront, you're gonna reach out to a commercial realtor, right? I'm not gonna do this myself, negotiate a contract and do all these things, right? But yet sometimes when it comes to marketing, I think the go-to is like, well, it's my own business. I know what I'm doing. But there's a value in a professional service for there as well, because this is what you do for a living. This is what you're passionate about. And the beauty, since you're also a small business, a lot of the challenges that small business owners will encounter in marketing, you yourself know what it's like. Like you've experienced that as well. So it's just, I think it goes to value the importance of thinking about how am I going to use experts and professionals, even when it comes to something like marketing. Because I don't know if you've encountered, some people are like, well, it's marketing. Do I really need a third-party marketer? But it's about the expertise that you're tapping into.
Sure, and the thing about entrepreneurs, business owners, is they're super smart. They're very, like the lady before, they're workaholics. They know they can kind of impose their will on things and get it done, you know. And it's like, so what do you want to be spending your time on? Do you want to be, because in some of our businesses, when we work with them, they have a Wix website that they've built. It's great. It works. There's nothing wrong with that. We don't feel like, bringing in the professionals for everything or the experts. There may be areas where it's a great idea, but what I have seen is that there'll be like a ex-wife that built the website, then you're in trouble when you can't get in and you can't make changes. The next thing you know, that kind of thing, or ex-husband, and then you're, or a partner that you've lost touch with and you can't get into things. And so, we have seen, and then, or a nephew that built it and then he's off to school and you can't get anything done or changed. So we know entrepreneurs are resourceful, and we encourage entrepreneurs to do the things that they want. We have some that love social posting, and they're excellent at doing it. They get great content. They convey their brand so well on digital, on social platforms, and it's like, I'm never going to take that away from them and be the professional or expert to do it, because, man, they love it. They're doing it.
Totally.
But there are some things where it's like Google Ads. Yeah, everybody can open up a Google Ads account and you can go out there and start bidding on keywords, but are they in Oklahoma? And now you spent all this money and you didn't even know that I need to make sure I target the right location and get in front of that audience. So, we definitely would love to, be able to at least guide them, have a conversation, and think about what things do you want to keep in-house for now. Just looking at budgets, because we know they're budget conscious, and they may be happy with something that's working. We're not going to fix things that aren't broken.
Exactly.
But we can be the expert in those areas where they need it too.
One, someone's the peace of mind for you to come in and say, this thing that you were worried about, it's not broken. Like,
it's
you're
okay.
actually doing a good job there. And then they're like, oh, good, my goodness, I'm glad to hear it. Last little bit, we got Kelsey Carter watching the show, Luana Hicks watching the show this morning. So really, it's so important for people to think about it and make sure they ask the right questions and do it. What's been something you've kind of learned by taking that entrepreneur? I mean, you grew up in an entrepreneur line of family. What was it like for you to take that first step and say, all right, hey, I'm going to do this as my own small business?
So for me, I had small businesses in the past. My wife and I had done through the years a couple different things, but when this opportunity came up, there were some things happening, and I just wanted the flexibility. I wanted to be able to make my own hours, kind of control my own destiny, that kind of thing, which is another reason I think that people get into being an entrepreneur, starting a business. And so for me, that was a big piece of it. What the biggest challenge for me as I started was really getting crystal clear on exactly who we are and what we offer. Because I got into trouble when I would start to try to be and do things that was not in our DNA. Like I didn't, and I would start to try to do things and be everything to everybody. And where we've been most successful is where we got really very clear on exactly, hey, this is who we are, this is what we do, this is what we don't do. And we've been able to clearly communicate that with our clients, and then because of that, I think they stay. We have great retention because they know exactly who we are. We're not trying to lure them in during the dating process, right? And then all of a sudden they find out, whoa, this guy doesn't put the seat down or whatever, and it's like, or hang his towels up. I want out. We want to try to make sure they know who we are from the beginning and stay consistent to that through the process.
Absolutely, that is fantastic. And so true. That's great advice, I think, for a lot of
definitely
small business owners. There is that temptation. It's almost like it's the
we've actually gone through that temptation a couple of times too. We were like, oh, maybe we should extend it to this area or that area, and then it's just like all you're doing is overextending yourself and not actually specializing on what you do
really well.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
love to do.
That you love to do and what you do really well, and that's important to kind of sometimes reel in, because we're always kind of like thinking, oh, maybe I should do this or that. But that
we want to say
important.
yes. People are like,
exactly.
Can you do this? I'm like, not really, but
you never want to say. You never want to say no to a customer, right? It's like the forbidden word. Don't say no. But sometimes you have to be like, this is what I focus on. So it's tough, but it's important.
And it's great advice.
Very good advice.
So James, before we let you go, thank you, Vanessa Parkhill, watching the show this morning. Before we let you go, where can people find you, get in touch with you, reach out if they want to learn more about what you do and take advantage of your help? Sure.
So gigstrategic.com is our website. We have our social profiles as well, so you'll find us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever you find social profiles, we're there as well.
Fantastic. Awesome. Gigstrategic.com, strategic.com, and it's a fantastic website. You'll see, you can, I think, see also, I think there's like a case study, so you can sort of see some of those results and things you've done, which is amazing. So just thanks so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank
you so much for coming on.
Thank you both. I appreciate it. Thank
I've
you so
learned a
much.
great deal. So
Yes.
I'm just
I think
inspired by
all
your
of you has learned a great deal. I think
Absolutely.
it's important.
Absolutely. So thanks so much for coming
Thank you.
on today.
My pleasure.
No, just the I love when the passion and the excitement for
Informative too, and I think hopefully if any entrepreneurs are watching, definitely I think you should give Gig Strategic a call, because I think marketing is sometimes the toughest thing to do. Let's be honest, it's business.
It is a lot.
It's daunting. It's intimidating, and you're like.
And a lot of us are not natural. Like if we go into business, it doesn't mean we're natural marketers. We may excel at a certain aspect of it, but not in all aspects.
Yeah, and selling things is not. You're not like the traditional salesperson anymore. You're not going house to house advertising. There's a digital world out there, and let's be honest. Like for a lot of people, even our generation, which is the younger generation, we don't know how to really utilize all our resources to the maximum. So I think that's important to kind of like tap into all these different ways that you can actually market.
That's a great point. That is a great point. No, fantastic. Just so much. I enjoyed today so much.
That was a fun
fantastic, sets of entrepreneurs that came and talked to us this morning, and looking forward to meeting more next week. We're going to be joined by Rivana Trail, as well as Josephine Carr from Castle Hill Cider. He's going to come on, maybe talk a little bit about some of the things you can look forward to. At the Today y Mañana Forward Adelante event on August 31st.
Well, maybe we'll get like a sneak preview of what the
I guess we'll find out. But August 31st, 5:30 p.m. at Castle Hill Cider. There's going to be free appetizers. You can RSVP, no cost to RSVP. There's going to be live music by Lily Graciela, and you can find it at www.connectlatino2022.eventbrite.com or on Facebook. Just put Connect Latino 2022 into Facebook. Go to Today Mañana's Facebook page. Go to Forward Adelante, so FABA Facebook page on that website.
I feel like going to the Facebook page is a little easier than typing www.something.
Exactly.
I've already forgot.
You can literally, from the Facebook page, there is the event. You can find Connect Latino, and if you click the link, it will take you straight to get your free tickets, RSVP. For your free tickets at Eventbrite. So super easy to do, and we definitely would encourage everyone.
Yeah, it should be a fun time. Castle Hill, great music.
And how do you go wrong? Great cider, free appetizers, live music, and all the amazing access to connecting and networking with all the amazing Today Mañana
and that's
guests.
another part. We're talking about digital marketing, but that's actually live person marketing. That's important too. If you're a small business or you're trying to connect with other people, it's
so be connecting.
It'll be a great atmosphere too to do so.
Oh yes, they have a beautiful space.
It's like a couple extra drinks usually makes the conversation a little easier. Right?
Exactly. How can you go wrong? How can you go wrong? So it's going to be an opportunity to network with a lot of the amazing entrepreneurs on Today Mañana and with a lot of fantastic Latino professionals in our area. So super there. Little shout out, a big thank you actually to Minority Business Alliance, which awarded Forward Adelante with one of its Endurance Awards.
That's great.
This year, which will be presented at the Minority Business Alliance 10-year anniversary gala on September 9th. So you can also check that out by just going to cvillechamber.com/MBA. You can get your tickets for that gala as well. That's going to be at the club
it's
at
not
Glenmore.
tuxedo gala, is it?
So that's a good question. And you can find out more at cvillechamber.com/MBA. I guess you can find out there. All the details will be there. How you can get tickets, what time it is. But September 9th, Friday, September 9th at the club at Glenmore. It's been an awesome 10-year anniversary event going on there. So big shout out there. And in a couple of weeks, just one last shout out, keep your eyes peeled for during the day on September 9th. There's going to be the 2022 Amplify Your Voice Conference for Central Virginia. A lot of amazing Latino professionals are going to be at this event. Just so many fantastic groups sponsoring everything. I mean, you've got our friend Ricardo Duran, done it from UVA Community Credit Union. You got South and Central. You got Emergent Financial Services. Special speaker is going to be joining us. He's the empowerment comedian Ernie G. is going to be coming.
Okay.
So just Hispanic real estate professionals coming together for this event. So it's going to be a huge opportunity. So definitely would encourage people to check that out. You can find it at Facebook as well. And that's why
was that September 9th, you said?
September 9th
Got
during
it.
the day. So
During
you
the
can go
day.
to this conference during the day and then head over.
What a great way to get out of work day, huh?
Exactly.
I'm doing
You
these
basically
two,
you basically tell your boss,
marketing.
I'm busy all day. I got
I'm
a
marketing,
Hispanic Realtor Conference, and then I have the Minority Business Alliance 10-year anniversary dealer. So there you have it. There you have it. So just definitely a lot to look forward to.
Definitely.
At the end of August and beginning of September. So just would encourage people to check out all those resources and links. And be sure to check out, of course, all three of our guests from today. Bait Done the James, Double C Ranch and Prose, and of course Gig Strategic. So a lot to check out. It's been an awesome show today.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun today, I have to admit. It was exciting,
Great
informative.
questions.
Oh, thank you.
No, really liked being on with you today, and
Same here.
we'll be looking forward to next week. I don't know yet if it'll be you or Xavier, but it'll be.
We'll say maybe
We'll
it's
see
about
what
time.
the audience
Maybe
says.
it's about time the closer comes back.
We'll see what the audience says.
We've missed his wisdom. He provides wisdom that only comes from old age.
Poor Xavier, yes.
Wisdom only age provides, right?
If we had to throw it, we would have done. Can't do a whole show without a little dig.
That's all right.
Xavier, he'll be okay with it. But thanks so much for being with me. Thank you so much to our audience for just all the amazing content and questions today. Great further advice from Philip Dowell. He says word of mouth is the best. That's absolutely, I think we can agree with that for sure. So Philip, thanks for watching and commenting today. Some great comments, some great questions by our audience. Really appreciate all of you. You make today Mañana what it is. Always love and appreciate being here on the I Love Seafood set. Thank you, Judah Whitcower behind the camera. He really had to work it out. Three guest segments.
He was trying to move to make sure he wanted to make sure the cupcakes and the cinnamon rolls were on camera, which is important.
So he did he's always fantastic. So we really appreciate all the work that he puts in to make sure that you come here, you see us on the screen. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. So big shout out to Judah for all that he does for Today Mañana and for the I Love Seafood Network. Just always appreciate being here. Always appreciate being presented by Emergent Financial Services, and of course partnering with our friends at Forward Adelante, with Credit Serious Insurance, with GBS Financial Services, the Jim Seville, Aqua Seville Hand Car Wash, and Castle Hill Cider, where the event will be located. Just thank you all so much for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you next week. But until that time, as we always like to close on Today Mañana, hasta mañana.
All right, good job, Alex.